I have a sewing machine, but I have not used it in a number of years, and I still need to bring it back out. So I decided to challenge myself to do hand sewing. Good old-fashioned hand sewing. As some of you may know, I have been working on this here project. I am making a table runner / altar cloth, and what is unique about it is that these were 2 dresses of my mother's. My mother was very into fashion, and one of these I think she actually made. And I was going to make them into pillows, but then, I don't know, I just got the idea to combine the 2 because I thought it was like sort of a interesting combination of fabrics and patterns, and make them into a table runner. So I stitched these all together. I cut them the same size, and then I stitched them together. And now we're at the point where I'm ready to do a hem around all of the edges. I ordered, which came in today, I ordered some metallic gold thread because I wanted the visible stitches to be metallic gold around these edges here. And I ordered these hand sewing needles. And these are a bit bigger than the needles that I used when I first started the project, because I might try to do like a couple layers of thread or a couple of strands of thread so that it'll really show up. But this made me just start thinking in general about prepping, survivalism, and the ability to make repairs and take care of what we have. So I wanted to share, as I'm on my way to rebuilding my sewing, bringing out the sewing machine, this is kind of the road that I've been on. Okay, so first and foremost, this is a little sewing kit that I think I got from the grocery store. And it had a couple of spools of thread in here, a measuring tape, a thimble, pins and needles, even a few buttons, like some very cheap safety pins, a pair of scissors that are probably only good for cutting thread. But you know what? That's okay. It is a start. These are great for just sticking in your purse or having in among your preps, a few of them, because they're usually not that expensive. And of course you could assemble your own, but I'm talking about steps to get there. So I started getting myself back together around being able to repair a rip, a tear, a button. If we're going to be like Rambo, we might have to do some stitches. Who knows? But I started with just getting this, and I bought a couple of my friends these. I'm not sure, how well they were received. Or I hope they're carrying them in their purse. But you just never know when you might lose that button, or a hem comes out of your pants, or you just need to catch something up right quick. So that was a good starter. I've used that tape measure plenty of times when I'm out and about and I need to measure something, like a picture frame or a piece of furniture or, curtains. So it's good to just have a tape measure with you. So the next thing I did today, I received also this sewing kit here. And this is supposed to be kind of, the next step up, I guess. Some of you probably already have a big, nice sewing kit, and that's awesome. But if you're just getting started, this might be your next step up, okay? So this sewing kit, I think, was about $11 from Joann Fabric. And as you can see, It came with 10, 11 little spools of thread. Nice color variety. You know, that would pretty much suit any quick repair needs, I think. Came with a little pin cushion in blue. I remember my grandmother had one of these, several of these in red. I miss that, having a tomato. Pair of fabric scissors. Now, scissors can be very expensive, so, you know, this is definitely probably your budget pair of fabric scissors. But note that I said fabric scissors. Cutting paper dulls your scissors. So if you can set aside a fabric scissor pair, and not use them on the construction paper or whatever, that's good. This also came with a white marking pencil, which is really helpful if you're sewing with a pattern, or if you want to just make a mark so that you know where you want to sew that button or whatever you're going to do. This little gadget here is your seam ripper, and these come in handy for taking apart things, stitches that didn't go quite as you had planned, taking apart a garment if you were taking apart something like you needed to repurpose it. This is a stitch guide. It can also be a hem guide for the depth of your hem that you're going to sew. I'll probably use it when to make sure I'm, all the way around, I'm getting my hem right, possibly. And then, of course, it came with some needles and a needle threader. This little gadget here is a needle threader. And came with some pins that had fallen out. So I just threw them in this Altoids tin, which then made me think how you could probably easily put together a little sewing kit using one of these, right? And it may be a little more sturdy. I don't know. It's up to you. But it's just the right size, it seems, for... You could wrap some thread. These would fit. These little spools of thread actually would fit in here. I mean, I wouldn't put them all in there, but as you can see, they can fit. Or you could take some thread and you could take thread and just wrap it around here, like a few basic colors, black, white, maybe clear, like a fishing line, something like that, and wrap it around that so it would fit. I also ordered some good safety pins. Like, safety pins come in handy for so many things, and these are Quilters basting pins. And so they're really big, as you can see. I mean, they're not that big, but they're big, and they look like they would hold up if you were trying to hold something together. It says these are 2 inches long, rust resistant. So I got some nice sturdy safety pins. So I could see me, I forgot that kit also came with a measuring tape as well. And these just come in handy for so many things. And that fits right in there. My needles fit right in there. I think I would put a seam ripper because I'm not going to fit scissors in there. This is a little more sturdy than that really flimsy set of scissors. And I could use it for snipping thread. And it is sharp. I mean, you could use it you couldn't use it as a pair of scissors, but you're not going to use this little thing for cutting out a dress pattern either. So The same thing I think you could use that for. You could use a seam ripper for, and it'll fit right in there. And I would probably put a few of these good safety pins in there too. And that could totally be a little sewing kit. Enough for, like I said, emergency repairs. The other thing I got, and the last thing I'm going to talk about, well, two things really. This one I'll get out the way real quick, is just a big bag of rubber bands. And I would probably put a few of those in my makeshift or my tiny home sewing kit, because rubber bands can easily hold a skirt up or hold you can wrap them around a tent pole if you needed to, like whatever you needed to do with it. I liked this big bag because it came with such a variety of rubber bands. But I would definitely put rubber bands in my survival sewing kit because you can use them to keep a cuff tight around your ankle if you needed to. You could use them for a lot of things. Got to have some rubber bands. And the last thing I got this a while back when I was going to repair my moccasins, which I did repair my moccasins. And it is a basic, it says it's a basic home handy needle assortment. That's spelled assortment. Assortment. And what is in here is these are waxed cord threads that, like I said, I used it to repair my moccasins, so it's very strong and sturdy and great for sewing like heavier fabrics, leather, denim, suede, that kind of thing. It came with those three. It also came with this nifty thing here, which is called an awl, A-W-L. And it is a very sharp, pointy thing for poking holes. So imagine if you were trying to sew leather, you make the holes first, and then you go back and sew through the if that's for hand sewing, then you would sew through the leather. It's good. I mean, I think this is good anyway. I mean, just imagine like if you need to poke a hole. It could be a weapon too, but I'm just saying. And then these needles, which are so interesting, right? This says a glover's needle for sewing leather and fur. This one's coming out. It says it's a carpet needle for sewing heavy carpet and cloth. Sail needle for canvas, tarpaulin, or Venetian blinds. A straight upholstery needle for canvas, sofas, car seat. A sack needle. Look at how that's shaped. Can you see how that? I don't understand what that's for, but it's really interesting how that is shaped. Sack needle for sewing sacks, bags, and hampers. And then you have these curved needles, which are great for upholstery and mattresses. It's for if you're sewing something that's like a big square and you would want to go in and you need it to curve, back out so you can get the needle back out so that you're sewing and you're able to get the needle back out. So there's a large one and a small one. And this little kit was very inexpensive. I want to say it was about, I will look it up, but I think it was about $10. If that much. Maybe it was a little more. I don't remember. But, so I keep that together too. So these are just, like I said, I'm going to get busy today. Oh, I meant to put this back on my thing. I'm going to get busy today sewing on my lovely altar cloth project here. And it's very relaxing, you know, sewing by hand. And you can, I mean, in the good old days, quote unquote, I remember my grandmother had me making doll clothes. She taught me how to sew. She taught me how to quilt a little bit. But she taught me so much. And so I'm just, you know, going back to go forward, right? So I hope that you are safe and warm and having a good day, as good as can be, all things considered. And until I see you in the next video, take care